Hey, on the show today, it's going to be this. Snow White flopping at the box office. Male influencers are taking it a little too far. We got a brand new Left on Red. And at the end of Left on Red, we call it The Interview, where you ask us questions and we answer them.
We don't call it that. I hate those socks.
You do? They're Hudson's Bay socks.
You put them out of business with your...
I didn't. I didn't keep them in business. I didn't wear them.
If you should have bought more socks, they would still be a sore.
All right, welcome to Adam, Wylde, and Jax. Week 2, baby. Woo! Well, we made it past the first week. How are we feeling?
I feel alive. I feel passionate. I feel closer to you than ever.
I do want to say thank you to everybody for the really, really kind messages and stuff. It was so nice to see all that. And we genuinely do hope you'll hang around for the show. Obviously, it's funny. I always say, people were like, well, how was the show? I'm like, your first show is always your worst show. So not that it was bad, but I just thought, I was like, wow, we set a pretty high bar. Now we got to jump over it every time. We
sucked it. You should stick around because we're only going to get better. I thought it was lovely.
So first off, busy week in our lives here. What are you doing this week?
Oh dear. I'm going to Montreal on the weekend to fix some past tattoo mistakes. I'll leave it at that.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What tattoo mistakes?
I have a half sleeve that everyone forgets about because I don't show it.
Can you show it?
No.
You're not going to show it on camera?
No, I shouldn't have said I'm wishing I didn't say anything.
What are you getting corrected then? What are you getting corrected?
The entire thing. Is
it going to be like Machine Gun Kelly, just draw it in black, or what are you doing?
There's going to be a lot of blackout work, but I have a half sleeve that was like mostly done in color work that color work doesn't on my body really age well. So I got it done almost 20 years ago. So I'm going to my buddy Caitlin in Montreal, and she's going to really help a girl out.
Okay.
So a road trip.
Does it hurt when because I've heard the inside of your arm is painful, like
in
underneath.
The armpit?
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh.
So you're just going to go to Montreal for paint?
Pain trip.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have to do that for a few trips, but I'm going to start it this week.
Can we see the results? Or you got to take it before and after.
I will.
Can you please? Like, I know are you actually too embarrassed to show it?
It's just, it doesn't it's a great
she won't
tattoo.
Show it. She's
it's
not
a
gonna
great
show
tattoo.
It. She's not going to do it. It's great.
It didn't age well on my pale ass skin, okay? Okay? I'm trying to focus, and I'm not the only one going on a road trip, not to switch gears. You are.
Yeah, so I'm going to San Jose with the Steve Dangle podcast. So Steve and Jesse and I are going, and we're going to go to, I think, 4 or 5 hockey games over the course of 7 days.
Cool.
And, it's going to be great. Barracuda, San Jose, Sharks, like they're 15 minutes apart from each other. It was funny. We got 2 hotel rooms, and the question became like, well, who's going to bunk with who?
That was my first question.
And then Jesse said, well, I'm not sharing a room. And I was the next one to answer. I was like, I don't have a problem sharing a room. Like, whatever, guys. Like, I don't care. And then Steve was like, he's like, absolutely not. Like, I am not sharing a room with you.
Nobody wanted to share a room with you.
Because Steve's a really light sleeper.
Adam.
So we got, obviously now we have 3 hotel rooms. So I'll be by myself. But it was
Adam. And you know what's sad? You're an only child.
I know. I love a bunk party. Like, whatever, man. Let's go.
You wanted a sleepover. Well, nobody wanted one with you.
You have to understand too, like those guys,
sad.
Besides being business partners, like we are very close, right? So you're kind of like, oh, this is a fun time to hang out with my buddy. Like we don't get to hang out as much anymore with kids and life and work. And
you were looking to spoon.
I was looking to spoon. Like I got no one to spoon now.
You were looking to get close. I like this hockey.
I was looking to hit it, you know?
My kind of hockey trip. All right.
Yeah, you know what? There are some novels that have been written about
I was going to say, this is the beginning of a very familiar story. Yes,
so we're going to go. I'll be able to snore away in my own room. We did all stay. We went to the Stanley Cup Finals in 2016, and we all stayed in an Airbnb together. And it was, because our budgets were tight, it was a pretty small Airbnb. Somebody's basement, essentially. And Steve and I had to sleep in the same bed. And I'll never forget, like, he was all worried about me waking him up. I've never heard a snore like that in my life. Like, he's a monster snorer.
I just like...
and I don't care. Like, I sleep right through it. But I woke up and I was like, holy crap.
A symphony of men snoring. Yeah. Sounds like my hell.
Do you snore?
I do a little bit. When I used to drink, man... Ooh, it was like,
what it is about drinking that makes that happen?
It does something to your throat, I think, or like closes,
like swells things up or whatever.
Yeah, and I was deep in a sleep, and I would just be like, like, and women were very patient with me until they were like, stop.
So my wife she's a very light sleeper. She sleeps with those silicone earplugs
Oh
in,
yeah,
and
loops. Love them.
sleeps with a mask as well.
Yeah.
So essentially, so we can sleep in the same room because I guess I do snore and I'm not aware of it.
You can also
And
fall asleep, and I've seen
anywhere
you take,
all the time.
like when we used to do the morning show on Virgin, we would have a meeting like a half an hour after we wrap the show, and you would be able to sleep for 10 minutes. You're like, I'm just going to take a quick, and I was like, you can't, and you did.
Yeah, I could nap for 10 minutes.
In just sitting in your chair, resting your eyes, you would fall asleep.
Yeah, or I'd lie down we had a little couch in our office, so I'd lie down on that. It was good.
Nice and cozy.
Yeah, it was good. You know what? Mornings are the worst. So, by the way, you guys sent us a ton of questions yesterday, and we were thankful for that. So we'll go through that at the end of the episode. But I want to talk about this to start because this is, to me, one of the biggest stories that's been percolating for years, and it's the Snow White adaptation.
Oh, the redo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because, when they first announced this, I think we were in like a different pop culture era.
When did they announce it?
It was like 2021 or something like that. And they shot this a few years ago, but they've had to, and I'll get into this in a second, like re-edit this thing a ton. And when they shot it, when they announced it, Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones and many other projects, who is a brilliant actor, was on a podcast talking about dwarfism and, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And he said, I think that the whole dwarf concept's a little outdated.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't be using it. So it's interesting. So that prompted Disney to go, okay, maybe he's right. So we're going to have to have 7 people. So apparently they shot the original movie with just 7 people. Just 7 random people that live together in a house.
Here's the 7 men.
Yes. And it was like men and women, whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
And then what happened was there is a group of people with dwarfism in Hollywood who were pissed with Peter Dinklage because they're like, hey man,
you just took away our rent. You just took away our mortgage payments.
So that's a B story. The A story is Rachel Ziegler, who's the lead actress, and Gal Gadot are both in a way supposed to have hurt this project. Now, Rachel Ziegler, a couple years ago, you might have seen this on TikTok. She put out a video talking about how, she was on a red carpet, and they were talking about how they were updating the story, right? Because obviously the Peter Dinklage part that updates the story, and then she was saying, well, listen, like it was made in 1937.
Yeah,
it's dated, and this one's going to be about Snow White wanting to be a leader. And I think what was crazy about that was the backlash, not just from like the hardcore right, but like across the spectrum from people going, sometimes I just want to see a love story, man.
Yeah.
And so I think that they kind of misread that. And then you have her putting out stuff about Palestine. And then obviously Gal Gadot, her co-star, served in the Israeli military forces. And so there's like this whole thing with this. So nothing in this movie can win. And then, so what do they do with it? They go back to the 7 dwarves or the 7 people, right?
They keep making it.
Well, they made the movie, but then they made them 7 magical beings or something. So now they're CG. They're not actors anymore. They're CGI, and they're tall, but they have like, big noses and big cheeks and sort of like the cartoon version. And nobody can really make sense of what this is, because this is Snow White's like the piece of IP for Disney, right?
Oh, of course. That's
the original.
That's
right.
It's like bringing Wicked back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what's apparently happened is this movie's just flopping, and it cost $250 million to make. It's only supposed to make $50 million at the box office, Jackson. What's crazy about it is if you were to make a movie at $250 million, you expect to spend at least that much marketing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a $500 million piece.
See, maybe I'm getting propaganda on my phone, but I heard that it was the best remake in history, and I didn't look into it. Okay, so first of all, I'll say this: I don't know why we keep remaking. I know that there's only a certain amount of ideas, like there's a certain amount of chords when it comes to music. So you have to somewhat remake. But it seems like they had a lot of exit lanes, on like being like, maybe let's pause on this. Also, I mean, did Sex in the City not teach us anything about bringing shows back the wrong way or the L word? No.
Well, so weirdly enough, on that point, the Lion King remake, the Beauty and the Beast remake, the Little Mermaid remake, all had really, really good numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can remember going to see The Jungle Book remake too, it had crazy numbers. And people were like, I can't believe the CGI and this is amazing. And they're not using any real animals because that was also a big concern, right? Like you can't, they've taken a stance. There's no more Air Bud. Like you can't go using an animal anymore.
The legacy.
Right.
From Dartmouth. Yeah.
So Vulture, which is a pretty big a pretty big website, called the film garishly ugly and lacking in charm. It's garishly ugly and padded out with new tunes that are about as smooth as and unremarkable as River Rocks. That's one of the. Now, it's interestingly.
God, that's scathing.
It's so interesting because when you look at Rotten Tomatoes, the audience scores are actually pretty good. Like,
and that's because, I mean, yeah, my TikTok is skewed, but I've heard good things. I have no interest, but I've heard good things.
Somebody else said it's too cheesy, too over the top, too visually flat, brimming with hyperactive theater kid energy that's better suited for Disney Princess's cruise ship show.
Theater kid energy makes me feel crazy.
Yeah. And so I guess
don't frig our microphones
sorry, I know
up
I'm
here.
messing the microphones
God.
up. I guess you kind of hit on something really important. Why do this? And I think it's interesting. Do you remember when we were growing up and we'd have those VHSs that came in those plastic containers?
I can smell them.
You can smell them when you open them and you can hear it, right?
I can taste the edges.
And for anybody that's younger than us that doesn't remember that, there was a time when Disney used to claim that a movie from 50 years ago, so like a Snow White made in 1937, was quote unquote coming out of the vault.
Yeah.
And that they were only taking it out of the vault for a limited time, and you'd see it at like Costco or something. And it's like, I better buy this because it's not going to be available
ever again.
Not knowing, of course, that the internet age was really coming. So they used to make that claim. So you'd go and you'd buy and these VHSs were like $30
in the big white cases.
Yes, and they take up so much covered space.
Oh my God.
And so we would go and we'd buy them, and you'd buy like a 3-pack or something like that to make sure you got a Little Mermaid and Cinderella and say Beauty and the Beast or whatever. And you grab them all in the 3-pack. So they did that, and the other thing they did to make money was they came out with sequels to just about all of their classics.
Yeah.
So they had like Lion King 2.
Yes.
I think they had like Peter Pan 2, Return to Neverland.
Was 101 Dalmatians a
They had 102 and 103 Dalmatians. Yep.
So many Dalmatians.
So many dogs.
Too many, one could say.
So now I think this is like sort of the new age version of it. And I almost wonder, like, I like Disney movies. I think nostalgia had a real moment between like 2015 and 2018, you know what I mean? Where everybody's like, oh, remember how great that was? And South Park's parroting it with their Memba berries and all that. But now I'm looking at it and I'm like, this feels tired.
Can I say something? We need to move on.
Okay, tell me about that.
And you know how I feel about Disney World? Maybe I feel.
Have you been, by the way?
No, my parents took me to PEI, not Disney World. Christ, like.
Okay, you love Disney World. It is fun.
You know what? And Disney adult.
It's Disney adults,
It's Disney
right,
adult energy that makes me feel like uncertain. And our producer Stephanie is shaking her head because she's a Disney adult.
Yeah.
And she's proud of it. It's just, I don't know. It's just like, go hike or go to an adult place. Don't go to the kingdom. And it feels a bit culty to me. And I love a cult, but not that cult.
So and when you see a movie like this come up, so let's say, I don't know what else you would do live action, but
bring back the Goofy movie. And I'm in.
Live action Goofy
now
movie?
that is a
great
flick.
movie.
That is a flick. I'm on board if that's being remade.
I did love that movie.
It was so good. It was good.
What is it though? Why does it feel, I almost compare it to the Marvel movies too. Like those used to be, and I know those were never your thing, but
I'm like, what movies do I like? I sound like a angry.
You like art house, like weirdo.
No, I like true crime. No, I like Bridget Jones' Diary.
Yeah, which they've done 40 of, so that's good.
More the merrier.
Yeah. I think they could reboot that.
Didn't they just have a reboot of it?
Well, without Renee Zellweger though, did they?
I don't know. There's so many.
I think
diaries.
that's something you could reboot.
I love it. Or give me anything with Julia Roberts.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, she doesn't do much anymore. You know, you noticed that?
Yeah, no, I know.
If they redid, what are the classic movies she's in? Like Notting Hill.
Notting Hill.
Could they redo Notting Hill?
Runaway Bride. Like give me Pretty Woman, which is incredibly problematic. So maybe they do need to remake.
Problematic's good though. That creates tension.
Yeah,
that's
maybe
the point.
Maybe they
of
do
that movie.
need. Let's do a redo of that, Julia.
No kissing on the lips.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to figure out what it is, but sometimes you just look at it and you go, I think I'm done here. I think you got to find something else.
I think there is so much more to do, and we need to get away from the castle, is what we need to do.
Well, have you heard of, you were worried about Disney adults. Have you heard of Club 33?
No.
So it is a Disney private members club at Disney World. And you have to wait on a list for years to get on this.
What's in the club?
Okay, you want to know? Okay,
No,
I'm just pulling
like
it
I
up.
do, but
Yes,
I
you
don't.
do. So, okay, so Club 33, the price, by the way,
feels
it's
Republican.
tens of thousands of
it
dollars.
feels Republican. That feels Republican, that group.
Essentially, it's an elevator inside of like a club, and there's a lounge.
Do you know
there's
about this?
dining, and there's a trophy room.
For
and
what trophies?
Well, I don't know. That's a good
Mickey's
question.
Trophies? Like,
yeah,
I hate it.
It's a full blown, and you can look at it on the Walt Disney World website. It's kind of wild. And if you want to get on a membership, it's tens of thousands of dollars a year. And I can remember a story where somebody was kicked off, and I think it was because they had been misbehaving at the park. And they sued to get back on and lost the case.
They sued the club.
They sued Disney to give them their membership back because they'd spent the money, and Disney's like, well, you poorly behaved, you can't be here. And then they were like, okay, well, we won't be poorly behaved. And Disney's like, yeah, no, that's not how it works. Like, we're keeping this now. And anyway, they tried to sue to get their membership back. They didn't want the money back. They wanted the membership. It really matters to people.
Like, just dream bigger. Dream.
Well, that's the point. I think that's how they feel.
No, dream bigger than that. Dream bigger than that.
Yes.
Oh, God.
So getting back to this Snow White, I think Disney's got some problems because I look at this. First off,
I don't mean to
Gal
laugh, sorry.
Gadot delivers her worst performance ever in Snow White, and that is really saying something. Is a headline from Discussing Film, which is a big.
Yeah.
She's not. You know, she just got her star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She's made her money.
Yeah.
I look at somebody like Rachel Ziegler, who is, I think, a pretty talented person, has a ton to offer. And I wonder, like, is this one of those things that derails your career, or do you just move on and go, this is bad, and find another way?
You know, when you're like 3 stops ago, I should have gotten away from that project or gotten away from that person.
Yeah.
I think 3 stops ago, they're going to be like, oh, this was what, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let it rest.
They wouldn't let
it rest.
critics see the movie either.
Square
beforehand.
peg, round hole. Let it rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just move on. It never happened. Throw it in the background.
And that's okay. That's okay, Disney. Just stop. God.
It's one of those ones that I think is going to go down as not fantastic for
Goofy
for
movie.
them. Goofy movie. There you go. I honestly, I don't know why they would redo anymore. I think they're done. I think they've cooked the Marvel universe. I think they've cooked live action. I think you got to come up with some new fairy tale, or try to revive Star Wars, because it's. Certain parts of that
we're
have
not
taken
going.
it.
No,
Listen, the world can
R2D2,
benefit from more Star Wars.
This that trilogy's too long.
So for something else I wanted to bring,
Oh no.
and I'm so excited about this. Can you tell me first, because you're a morning person.
Yeah.
What is your ideal morning routine?
Like, what's ideal?
Because I know like we have a unique position in that our jobs are really not every week it changes.
Yeah.
Right. So some people have like a straight up, here's my schedule, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
This is what it is. Nobody's 9 to 5 anymore, but you know what I mean? For you, if you don't have to work till like 9 a.m., what's your morning routine?
What I do, first of all, is I still pretend I have to work every day at 9 a.m. because I need routine.
Oh.
So when we stopped doing mornings, because we used to get up at like 4,
Yeah.
I was still like, I can't sleep because I'll sleep for the rest of my life. No,
just won't get
but
up.
I still get up at 7. So I set my alarm for 7. Sometimes I snooze, but then I'll get up, 7:30. And I tuck Reggie back in, my little dog. And I tuck him back in. I go down and
so he sleeps in the bed with you?
Yeah, he's back in the bed every night, forever. And he goes back to bed because he's very tired. And then I go get a coffee, I come back up, and then I don't touch my phone, or try not to, for the first half an hour to 45 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, which is
That's got to be hard to do.
it was really hard to do at first, but it is so much better not to. And so I read like a little recovery book for a minute, and then I daydream or I ruminate about the past. Either one, no. And then I get my day started.
See, that's okay. I like that. That's gentle.
No phone though. No phone until 45 minutes in. So around 8:15, I'm getting a shower.
That's where I have to probably change, because you're very raw when you wake up in the morning, and so with a kid, I can't. And obviously I split custody with my ex, but you know, when I have Everly overnight, which is basically every other week, you know, you're kind of you're kind of at the mercy of school schedule.
I have a lot of flexibility that parents do not.
Yeah,
let's be very honest.
That's the difference, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. The reason I ask you this is there is a lot on the internet about what you should do for your morning routine. And obviously people are looking at there's like the Mel Robbins 5-minute rule.
I love Mel.
Mel's awesome. I do like Mel a lot. She actually seems like I'm reading her book right now and I'm like, okay, this person's pretty legit. Like she's not selling you stuff that you don't know. It's sort of crystallizing it for you. You're like, yeah, I know that. And yeah, you just kind of hit the nail on the head and I really got to work on that. Yeah. And that's what I like about her because she's
straight up. Yeah,
she's not like trying to blow your mind with something. She's trying to simplify. And I really think that's awesome. So, you know, especially for men, I think lately, I feel like we're in do you remember the Oprah 90s loop of dieting?
Oh,
where it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Men, I think, are in that now. And it has to do with a few things. It has to do with fitness. It has to do with waking up early. And it has to do with making money.
You lost me at men. Sorry, say this all again.
And the reason I'm doing that is because you have your phone on you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've sent you a tweet. And it's from an account.
I don't have Twitter.
You don't have Twitter?
Oh, God. No.
Okay. Well, you probably still watch this video because they'll let you do it. And it's from Tips for Men. And it's by
I do. I must follow them.
Yeah, it's a video from TikTok by a guy named Ashton Hall, who is a big fitness influencer, and it's going viral. And I want to see.
Who's this?
He's a good looking boy. There's no question.
Gentleman.
Now watch the whole thing. It's a minute and a half.
I need your phone. It won't let me in.
Well, okay. Yeah. Here.
Elon won't let me in.
Okay. Here. I'm going to pull it up for you. Okay. So click on this. He's a beast. Did you see? Okay.
He's very buff.
Now he wakes up at 3:53 every morning, and we know what that's like. It sucks. And here's what he does with his routine. Say it out loud as you see it.
Oh, he's brushing his teeth. 3:54 a.m. He's thirsty. He's got a nose strip on. Okay, am I supposed to be? He's doing push-ups on the deck. Oh, he's sitting down.
What time are we at?
Where's 4:40? This is 4:40 now. He's writing out God's message at 5:30 a.m. Oh, is he putting his face in the ice? Yeah. No, yuck. Everybody's doing that. He's so strong. Wow. Are his legs okay? What are these? 6:07, 6:17. He's going for a run? Yeah, he's going to run, isn't he? He's going to sprint.
He's going to go dominate.
God.
Sprinting.
Oh my God. Oh, is he swimming? What a dive. 7:40 a.m. Where is this? This is paradise.
Like Miami or something.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah, he's happy. Oh, needs a shower. Oh, does it? Oh, hungry. He's so hungry. Did he put a banana on his face?
He did. He rubbed banana peel on his face.
He's having more ice. Who brought that ice to him? He's having a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a woman here. Who is she?
Well, I guess he has hired help.
Is that his wife?
Yeah. No, I don't know. Okay. So here.
What is this? Get me out of here.
Twitter has this thing where every time you use it, it just autoplays the next video.
That made me feel.
So why do you think that's going viral?
Because he's hot as hell?
No, it's going viral because his morning routine
is absurd.
5 hours of nothing. He doesn't do anything.
He's very busy. What are you talking
busy. About? It's like busy work though. It's not like, so I'm going to run it down for anybody because obviously if you're listening on audio here, I want you to understand this. So here's what he's got it labeled at. 3:52, wake up. Pull tape off his mouth. So he puts tape over his mouth. People do this. That. So you breathe through your nose.
You need that.
No, because I live with a cat and I'll get stuffed up and I'll die. And then he's got 3:54, brush teeth. 4 o'clock, walk outside. 4:04, push-ups on balcony. 4:17, stand upright, drink water. 4:38, sit at desk with eyes closed. 4:50, watch something about Jesus on his phone. 5:46, put ice and bottled water into bowl and dunk face
Hang on, go back. How long does he watch Jesus for?
Well, I skipped ahead a little bit here.
Okay.
Because there's so many times. Yeah. And then a little bit later, sprint for 25 minutes straight. No one does that. 7:30,
I think he does.
Take off shoes for pool. So I don't know if you caught it, but one of the things that people are loving about this is when he dives into the pool. And you have to see this to believe it. This is a guy who is jacked and he's diving into a pool. It's a beautiful rooftop pool at a condo. And first off, when he's getting dressed for the pool, it says no diving. Oh. Number 2 is that at 7:36 and 7:40, he is diving in the pool. So people are like, so he floated in air for 4 minutes because his
timestamps.
And it goes so on and so on and so on. So what I always find funny about this is people are like, this guy's just wasting a whole bunch of expensive bottled water. There's another video where his assistant, who's a woman with those gigantic nails.
Not his wife.
I don't think it's his wife.
Better not be.
She's cutting up fruit and then putting it in the bowl with the ice. And then he eats a bit of the fruit and then dunks his face in it. And of course, you saw him rub the banana peel on his face like it was some sort of skincare routine.
My biggest flag in these videos, all of these, like whether it's, getting ready in the morning or my nighttime routine, or especially the running routines, is think about how many times they had to stop and set up the shot. You know what? Like,
because you would know, right? You're very good at that.
Well, but that would be annoying as hell. Like all of that time, to take, oh my God. And you look probably crazy sitting there setting up your shot.
Well, and imagine.
But he's so hot, it doesn't matter.
You bring your camera equipment to the gym and set up you running. And he's got it from 2 different angles too, right? And what he's trying to do is there's this motivation, grind set sort of thing going on with men where basically every time you log onto the internet as a guy, your masculinity is being questioned by other men. And it feels a lot like what women used to be with dieting. Because women would be like, wow, she put on a few pounds, better get on a diet, right? That used to be sort of the loop. With men, it's like you will never find a woman, you will never make money, and you will never become anything unless you wake up at 4 a.m. and have a ridiculous routine. And I think what people are saying is listen, man, respectfully, if it takes you 5 hours to get ready for 9 a.m., you're probably never going to be ready. And what's amazing is what's come out of so this guy's got 8 million followers on TikTok, 4 million more on Instagram, which is really hard to do. Instagram's really hard to gain followers on. So there are obviously people just like you, Jax, who are like, well, this guy seems to have it together. Right?
I immediately thought, look at him.
So you were not critical of the routine.
I was not critical, but I think his body blinded me. And he's very strong.
He's cut.
And I am not strong. So when I see somebody strong, I'm like, that ice and Jesus is working. I'm like, that you are doing it right. And I don't question what they're doing for 7 hours in the morning, which doesn't seem like a lot of anything. But yeah, now that I think about it, he didn't really do much at all.
He didn't do much.
He didn't even eat besides the banana.
Where's your
breakfast?
There's another video where he goes to the gym and you see him shooting. And this is, so more of his stuff is going viral. You see him shooting basketball at the gym. Okay. See him shooting and he shoots, but you never see the ball leave his hands and in a continual shot go through the net. So it's shot of him.
Yeah.
And then it's shot of ball going through a net. But you don't know if it's him shooting it. And he's got a security guard with him. And the security guard hands him water in one of the shots.
Who are these workers?
And then hands him a quarter slice of a watermelon.
But okay,
not how they cut up watermelon at a thing. No, I'm talking the whole watermelon.
Okay, so here is my question. Is he doing this for rage bait? Like clickbait?
No, he's doing it to sell courses, to be like him.
Because there's some people who do such absurd things in their routine. Like there's a guy, I don't know where he lives, but somewhere down in the States, and it's like a husband talk or whatever. And he's just trying to piss off guys. So people are clicking, watching, and then he gets the endorsements out of it because it's pay-per-view, right?
Right.
But this guy, maybe you're right. He seems legit.
No, it's the funny shot because he shoots, you see the ball clip come up, right? And then you see the ball go, and then the security guard hands him a piece of watermelon, gigantic.
He needs a better editor. Yeah. Stephanie, we should go work for him. What
I think is interesting about it though, is what it says to guys like myself, right? So listen, I'm not in the shape that I was in my 20s. I want to get into better shape, but I had a divorce, we had a kid, had,
a pandemic,
started a business, pandemic. There's a whole bunch of things that, and frankly, I didn't get to the gym and I didn't eat well. That's just what it was. And so, I'm working on it now, but what that stuff is so interesting for especially for younger guys is if you're 14 and you grab that you're thinking like, this guy must be successful. His condo looks amazing.
Yeah.
He's got someone serving him. He's well dressed, whatever. He's in great shape. This guy must be raking it in. And I've got to be that or I'll never be successful. And that is, and what's interesting about it is people instantly go then, well, how do I be like him? And the reality is that genetics play a part. Guys clearly just a man who's, I mean, he played college football, that sort of thing. But also, hey, why don't you buy my course? And what's crazy about this guy is he sells courses to people who want to be sellers of courses.
What is this riddle?
Do you remember the TikTok that went viral where it was like, if you're 24 and you're not driving a Lambo, like you need to give your head a shake. There was like one where.
Oh yeah, you got all this crazy.
Yeah,
I remember you talking about this. Yeah, I've never seen it.
So those guys were selling drop shipping courses, which is
drop shipping. Drop shipping. All the
It's
drop
male
shipping
MLM.
bros.
It's male MLM.
It is the Tupperware for guys.
Yes.
Absolutely.
100.
Yes.
That is so good. Yes.
Yeah.
And so
Everybody's a drop shipper. I'm like, leave me alone.
So this guy sells courses to people that want to be like him, but he also sells courses because he's like a lifestyle coach or whatever to people who want to be lifestyle
the
coaches.
lifestyle and wellness coaching industry is so unregulated. It's actually dangerous.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right?
Everybody is an expert in wellness and it's actually terrifying. And it's like very vulnerable people, especially in like the wellness, or I see it a lot in the postpartum space where people are like, I'm a
postpartum space.
Postpartum
Really?
space and
I've
like
never seen
women
that.
dealing with just like any sort of, mental vulnerability.
Sure.
And they're like, okay, I see this woman on TikTok who has had a baby or 2 babies or 3 babies, and she's an anxious mom too. I've talked to a couple of my mom friends about this. They see this influencer who is like, I got better and I was where you are. And then they buy her course. Usually, I mean, most moms don't have a lot of, disposable income.
Mm-hmm.
And these aren't experts. These aren't people who are like, these aren't doctors.
They didn't go to school.
They didn't go to school.
Yeah.
They are just running an internet. And sometimes I'm sure that their advice is good, but sometimes it's not helpful or it's harmful.
Yep.
And it's these vulnerable postpartum women being like, I'm alone, but I saw this woman on TikTok, and these people are making so much money off of vulnerable men and women, whatever the space. It's really dangerous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my God. Sorry,
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that inside my head for a while.
Well,
wow. I'm mad for the mummies, okay?
Actually,
Yeah.
when I had a kid, I remember asking my therapist, I was like, what should I look out for? And he's like, you need to stay off the parent blogs.
Yes.
He said, stay out of the parent Facebook groups, stay out of the parent blogs. He's like, obviously a parent buy and sell. He's like, buy all your stuff used if you can. I should have listened more to that advice because new baby stuff is outrageously expensive.
Adam Wylde.
I could do baby on a budget. If I ever had a second kid, I could do it for like less than $1,000.
Adam Wylde's favorite line is, I could have a kid for less than $1,000. I'll show you how. You're the real MLM
I could
here.
actually sell a course on that because I know what to look for.
I have all your old baby stuff in my basement. I do. So if I ever have kids.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I think anyway, to wrap this up, I just think it is first off, the video is hilarious. And if you're listening on audio, we have this, it'll be on our social media. It's on the YouTube channel. Like you can check it out. We've gotten to like the shark jumping territory when it comes to sort of like male masculine influencers. Like it's a little much. And a lot of us, the reality is like a lot of us are not like your traditional alpha. I don't even know what the hell that means.
Yeah, but the alphas are making a really bad name for themselves. So,
well, they are. They're not. Alphas are not having a great time. That's the other thing. Kind of leans you down certain dark paths, right?
Yeah, very, very dark and dangerous paths.
And I'm sure that I'll have a bunch of like beta comments on this thing. But like,
don't keep those comments out, or I'll shut it off.
No, bring them on.
I'll fight it.
Yeah. So it is Ashton Hall is this guy's name. I know he's going to gain a bazillion more followers because of this. But watch out for people. It's like, okay, what's this video trying to tell me? And what is this person trying to get me to buy?
We should do a morning timestamp routine of our mornings.
Oh.
Yeah, we should. Stephanie, what do you think? Yep. Yeah,
okay.
Stephani's going to help us. And a realistic morning with Adam Wylde and Jax.
Oh my God. It's going to be sad and pathetic.
Yours is frantic and it's a lot of Twitter. I know it.
Yeah.
You're looking at sports.
So what I'll do is, because I'm going to be in San Jose next week, I'll have the time to actually shoot it.
Yeah.
But it'll be like, I'm not setting up the shot. Like you guys just have to be okay with me being like selfie video where my eyes are puffy and my hair looks like shit and my breath's terrible. You won't be able to smell it. But
I want to smell it. I'll I'll smell it. I'll smell it. You'll know.
It is. It's rough. And I do think that a realistic version of it would be good. I think your routine is far more in depth than mine would be. Do you know what I mean?
Put on my moisturizer, take my medication, seize the day. Seize the day.
Now, I know the price of admission here. Everybody wants to hear Left on Red.
Brand new episode.
So we want to introduce you to Ryan. Mm-hmm. Ryan is a super normal guy. Mm-hmm. Can't understand why he's been left on red by Kim.
I never can.
Okay.
Yep.
No, of course. So we're going to bring Ryan on and you're going to hear Left on Red now. All right, let's welcome Ryan to Left on Red. Ryan, after what he calls an exhaustive conversation on the apps, finally got Kim to go out with him. But it only happened once, and now he's been ghosted. Ryan, you got to give us the backstory.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me say I love watching, but I hate being on here.
Fair and valid. Yep.
Okay, so the backstory. Well, I think Kim is pretty special. I'm just going to put that out there. So I was pretty excited when we matched up, and like she told me right away that she wasn't sure about meeting on apps in general and stuff. So it took a while. I think it was a couple of weeks before I gently convinced her, to actually meet in person.
Okay. Okay. And when you did convince her, what did you guys end up doing?
Well, she told me she wanted to keep it super casual, right? And she just didn't want me spending a bunch of money or time on this because we were just going to meet up and keep it casual. So we ended up just meeting out for drinks. We went to a local bar. It was super chill. I wasn't trying to apply any pressure to her. I just wanted to be laid back and keep it easy.
Right. And how did it go? What was the conversation like? Because it sounds like
there's a lot of buffering.
Yeah, here. She's like a little bit like just not sure about going out right now.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, it was really easy. It's just like, I don't know. I was really excited about it, but here we are. It's been a week later, and I don't know what's going on. I've sent her a couple of texts, and there's nothing back. But like, I can't think of anything I did wrong. I thought we had a really great time.
Okay.
Do you want these answers? Do you no, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but like, do you want us to actually reconnect you and put you back in touch, or do you want to leave it as a mystery? Yeah. I know you called us, obviously, but
Yeah, no, I would really love to find out what's up. I mean, if we don't go out again, which I would love to do, but if that doesn't happen, I just want to know what happened. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly pulled out my very best casual moves for her, and I want to know what failed.
That was my best. That was my chillest. Yeah.
Bro, I was chill. You were super chill.
I was super chill. Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah.
Why don't we be super chill then and have you listen in while we call her? How about that for super chill?
I'll be so chill about it, bro. I'll do that.
All right, buddy. Let's give her a call.
Ooh.
Hello?
Hi, Kim. It's the Adam Wylde and Jack show. We're conducting a survey on dating. We were hoping you might be able to answer a few questions for us. There is a prize draw for people who do.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Jax, by the way.
Hello, I'm Jax. How would you describe the dating scene at the moment?
Terrifying.
Okay. Straight up. Yeah.
All right,
okay.
Good.
Didn't really take you long to say that.
Just being honest.
Have you been seeing anybody lately, or like, what are the dates that you've been going on that are horrifying and terrifying?
Ooh. So, I mean, part one of that question, like, yes, kind of. I mean, I went on like one time I went on a date, and it was just like, it was a casual date. So
is casual good or casual bad?
I would say it was good. I mean, he was a nice guy, and he clearly tried. And I mean, like, honestly, I kind of put him through it. Like, I straight up refused to go out with him for the longest time, even though I swiped right. So.
Okay. And was there a reason that you kind of held back, or why were you playing hard to get, girl?
I don't really want to say. He was a very nice person, but I'll just say it was a deal breaker.
Oh, okay. But you won't tell us what the deal breaker was?
No.
What if I guessed?
Oh, what a fun little game this is. Would you be okay if we guessed a little?
Yeah. Throw some darts at you.
Yeah, sure. You can guess.
Jax, you start with your first guess. What was it?
Did he have a gross mouth? We've heard that one a couple of times.
Breath? Yeah,
bad breath. We've heard that a couple of times.
Did he have a gross mouth? Kim?
Yeah.
No gross mouth, no bad breath. No.
Okay. All right. Bad manners. Like he didn't open the door for you, didn't pull out the chair, that sort of thing.
No, he did both of those.
Did he bring you to the bar and watch sports over your shoulders?
I feel like this is a shot at me.
Yeah, it is. You never look me in my eyes.
Nope.
I guess that's manners, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was it?
Yeah. Does he want kids and you don't? Like what? Like you're.
Are you gay?
Yeah.
I don't know. No, it's okay. But like, what was the big deal breaker? Because it sounds like he had good manners. I mean, not that like those are the big ones.
Like,
but
are we talking looks?
I mean, you're getting warmer.
Okay. I need to step in and stop this real quick. I'm so sorry. Hey, Kim.
You wanted this.
What?
Okay.
What? Wait, what are you? What is he doing on, what, guys?
Yeah.
So-
Just don't be mad at them, okay? I asked them to put you up to this. I asked them to get you on the phone for me.
Why would you do that?
Well, I mean, you straight up ghosted me. I went through all that extra trouble to bring the flowers, and I met all of your conditions to be comfortable, and it was no longer than 60 minutes, no expectations, etc. And then you just kind of disappeared. There wasn't even like a thanks, but no thanks. I didn't get anything. So I'm just wondering why.
Kim, is that true? Did you disappear into the wind?
I mean, yeah, that's true, and you're right that was rude. And Ryan, I'm sorry for that. I mean, I did have a good time, and I want to say thank you for doing all of that.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's whatever. It's what is it about my looks that's a problem, though?
I mean, Ryan, I really don't want to do this.
No, I can take it. I can take it, honestly. I just, you don't have to worry about hurting my feelings or anything like that. I obviously liked you. I thought we had a good time. I just don't get it, and I just want to understand.
Okay.
Ryan,
you're a good person. You're a really good guy, and honestly, it's not you. But I really, really don't want to tell you.
Come on, just say it. Just say it.
Okay, you look like my brother, and it's weirding me out.
Kim, can you repeat that? What did you say? He looks.
My brother. I mean, not like exactly, but there's enough similarities, and it was weirding me out, and to be so crystal clear, Ryan is a good person, and I know that he'll find someone nice, and that girl is going to be so lucky.
He just looks like your sibling.
Yes, the whole time I could tell, I was like, oh my God, he's really trying. He's putting in all this effort. And I thought I saw some things in the pictures, but I was like, maybe, whatever. Maybe they just photographed similarly. But then in person, I really noticed it. And it's I don't want to hang out or touch or kiss this person.
Yeah.
Because no.
What?
Ew,
Why not?
I can't even.
He's great. He's great. I just, he looks like I shared my childhood with him. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. That's weird.
I wish you the best, and I know you're going to make someone so happy. It's just not me.
And that's not something he can do anything about. And Ryan, that's okay.
Okay.
I mean, there are surgeries.
Are you happy?
Ryan?
Yeah, no, I'm just kind of in shock. I don't know what to say. I can't. I can't believe this.
You're only saying it to us because Kim's line is dead.
Is she gone?
Yeah, she's gone.
Oh, okay.
She's gone in the wind again.
Wow.
Okay, well.
Yeah, she disappears a lot.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan. Not much you can do about the looks.
When your sister ghosts you, your sister ghosts you.
Yo, man, that's just bad luck. Straight up. That's just bad luck.
Yeah. I liked her, but I'm not getting surgery for her.
Okay.
No.
Move on, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's look at it like this, guys. Positivity. She liked him enough that she was willing to look past the fact that he looked a little like her brother and at least meet him in person, which means Ryan's got to be a pretty good guy. Like Jax, if you were straight and someone looked a little like your brother, is there any chance that you would go out with them at all? Like even meet them in person?
I think no. I'd be like,
so Ryan must be a really good guy.
You must be a hot brother.
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah. So must her brother.
Take care, Ryan.
All right. Well, as a thanks, I'm available if anyone wants to go out.
All right. Thank you.
So obviously, Left Unread always available whenever we do our show, and we do more stuff after it. I think a lot of people think that after Left Unread, the show is over. It's not.
The party has just begun.
Because we have the interview.
Did you just burp? Like,
no.
Okay.
I swung my head to the side and avoided a burp.
You looked sick for a moment.
So this is the question and answer section. I call it the interview. And Jax doesn't love that.
We never agreed on calling it that.
We could call it the circle back.
Yuck.
We could call it the follow-up.
What the chat?
Basically, yeah, the chat. I don't know.
Why don't we just call it questions?
The chat AWJ. So instead of chat GBT, no. Essentially, it's a question and answer. So every week we're going to put out questions for you. And we got some great ones this week. And the first one, I wanted to spell this right away. The Traveling Yoga asks, Adam, are you still married? No ring a ding. As in, I'm not wearing a wedding ring.
Where is your wedding ring?
So I lost my wedding ring over a year ago at a beach.
Have you not been wearing it for a year?
No, I haven't been wearing it for a year. Now, I'm still completely married. And everything's good, but I lost it at a shoot at a beach. I left it at Woodbine Beach on a lifeguard thing. We were launching my other co-host, my other show, Steve, into Lake Ontario in a kayak for a charity event, and he was not doing well. And anyway, I took it off so I wouldn't lose it, and I left it there, and it's gone. And so my goal for 2025 is to replace it, and it's something that I really regret because like I lose things all the time. But that thing, perhaps most of all, represented like
marriage.
Well, not just marriage, but like, I'd already done marriage.
I was going to say,
this is like a second chance.
I was going to say, can you wear your old one?
No, that's gone now.
Okay.
But I it had an etching in it and everything, and it had the date on it and whatever. And I'm sad that it's gone.
How does Natalie feel about this? Because I'm upset. I'm upset too that I didn't notice.
She accepts me for who I am. She actually is not too upset about it.
Why don't you get one of those like silicone ones that all the foolish guys wear that they lose the rings?
I find those sweaty, and then I'm like, is that gonna?
You are very wet all the time.
I got wet hands, right? Like,
let me touch your hands right now.
Sweaty, right?
They're soaked.
They're sweaty.
I
know. It's gross.
No, I love them. They're warm.
Yeah. So Trizak asks Jax, can what you have be taught?
What?
Which I think is a nice little compliment.
Like, can what I have?
I think he's hitting on you.
Can this body be taught? No way, through discipline and strength. I don't know how to do. I'm spiraling. Help me out. Let's go to the next question. But thank you so much.
Okay, so have you watched Love Is Blind this season?
No, but I see all the TikToks that all the men look the same.
Well, okay, Love Is Blind this season. Somebody asked what our thoughts are.
You've watched, right?
Yes, and you have to watch it. There's a guy who like at the aisle skateboards down the aisle. Have you seen that? It's amazing.
Did he longboard into the venue as well?
Venue, yes. Yeah.
I saw the TikTok.
Yeah.
No,
and
I haven't
they're
watched
actually a very nice couple. It is very messy. I think the cubes, like at the beginning, is the messier part. There was like some real swings and emotion there, and I think you'll really like it. But if you haven't seen it yet, it's hard to.
Are they allowed to drink as much as they used to be able to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not as messy though. Like every couple of years you have someone who gets a little.
You remember Shane?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't forget Shane.
Shane kept it going.
So somebody said, Kathy says, how has your relationship changed now that you don't do a radio show together? Do you miss it?
I think that we see each other so much that it doesn't feel like it's changed.
No.
For the first 6 months of us not doing mornings together, because I don't even think I realized how intimate it is to see somebody, like we saw each other more than our families or our partners.
Yes.
And through a pandemic. And I think the first 6 months, once everything kind of died down, I really missed you. And you live 10 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
And we saw each other maybe like once a week or once a month. But oh my God, I was like,
it is an adjustment.
I'm longing for him. But no, like you're my best friend.
We text all the time too.
But we text all the time. And now we see each other constantly. And you're always around in your truck. And so actually the first day that we stopped doing radio together, I ran into you at the dump. Do you remember that?
That's right. It was like the first day.
I saw you at the dump and you were dropping off garbage and so was I.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I remember that. And Jax has, of course, made friends with everybody at the dump.
No, she's not at that location anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure. Do you go to her location now?
No, I can only go to that. I got to go to the dump that's close.
So do you have, this is good. Lauren, do you have any Canadian businesses you love to support that we can too? Do you have any thoughts on that? Anybody that you're sort of like into that you love?
Like offhand?
I know I am just throwing this at you.
Oh my God. Actually, I think they're pronounced L'Intervalle.
Mm-hmm.
Montreal-based like footwear. I get boots from them. And I love their boots because not only are they comfortable and they feel like they fit my gender, they make me taller.
Oh,
yeah. And I could use a couple.
Somebody does ask in here, how tall is Jax?
Don't worry about it.
How tall are you?
I was at some friends last night and we measured each other like all lesbians do on a Saturday night. And I am 5'4.5".
Okay. No, you're not. Your producer Steph is saying, no, you're not. Like, Steph, how tall are you?
5'2".
She's 5'2". So wait.
And you're not that much taller than me.
What is it? What is this? I'm being cornered. I mean, this is a setup.
Were these people trustworthy that were measuring you?
They were all very
Were you
lovely
wearing shoes?
and kind.
Were you wearing the shoes you were just talking
Listen,
about?
okay. Listen, don't be homophobic. Yeah.
So somebody asked, hey guys, you were on the radio with TJ for a long, long time. For anybody that doesn't know, it was Adam Wylde, TJ, and Jax in the morning.
That's how we launched. That's our baby.
Yeah. Somebody said, there have been a couple questions about TJ. First one, do you guys still keep in touch? And the second, would you ever have him on? Are you missing TJ? Do you talk often? That's from Rachel. And the answer is we talk all the time, but it's so... it's via like TikTok videos.
I have a TikTok streak with him that I will not break. And we send dark content to each other, like jokes.
Yeah.
And
he has a very dark TikTok
He's
timeline.
So funny. You've seen him a couple times this winter too. We've seen him a bunch. Yeah.
So we went for dinner in November. He came up to Toronto, and then I was down in London with a podcast of mine at the Ivy Business School for Western. And so we went for dinner afterwards. And like TJ's TJ, like he's the best. And would we have him on? Absolutely.
Whenever he wants to come
in a heartbeat. I want him on for Left on Red. Like let's do it. I think it'd be so much fun.
We'll bring a different chair in for him. We'll put him in the middle like a perch. He's very long. Yeah.
He is, and he's in a good place. Like I think that's the thing is I think sometimes people worry about like when someone leaves a show or whatever that things were bad. And
no, we're all still great friends.
We're all still friends.
There's no drama.
It's really hard to, leave behind 5 years of waking up super early together, right?
Yeah.
You can't just like that doesn't just switch off, I don't think. So yeah, we're all pretty close. I just wish he lived in Toronto, but he's got a beautiful house in London and I don't blame him.
I think people wanted a wild story, but it's just sexual tension was too much and we couldn't be together anymore.
People ask also because of the radio thing, do you guys miss your mornings together on 99.9? As in like, do we miss being up in the morning?
No.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like,
and it's not because I don't love Virgin Radio. It's not because I didn't have a blast.
Loved Virgin, loved the show. I didn't mind but the gut rot that you get from like anybody who does any sort of early morning work. I have tremendous respect for you for long term, especially news. They get up at like 3. The gut rot in your stomach is so particular, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
the feeling, even if you get 8 hours of sleep, like there's this like just a hole in your stomach that feels just. Yeah, I never felt rested.
There were times, and I don't know if people who are like, I don't know, you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're a police officer, you're ambulance,
the
fire,
real jobs.
People that work shift work though.
The important stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the really important stuff. Your mother was that, right? She was a nurse.
Yeah.
I always think about them because I used to get up at, whatever time I got up at, and I was almost every day nauseous.
Yeah, that's it's like.
Like I would be like, there were days where I was over the toilet convinced I was gonna, retch. And I think it's one of those where now we get to do all the fun parts of the morning show without having to wake up that early. I'm not a morning person at all.
Oh, I love
That's what I
morning,
learned.
but I firmly believe that I don't think if I got sober, I would have been able to continue that because like the gut rot from that on top of like going out also and partying, I was like, it wasn't sustainable.
I remember during the pandemic, if you want to hear a funny story, Jax used to.
What is this?
Jax had just gotten sober and she was single. And there was a full moon.
Shut up.
A full moon, like, I don't know, what did you call that? Like a meditation. So there's going to be a full moon that
Your
night.
ex-wife gave me oils and a rock.
And there was...
I still have it.
And you were meditating under the full moon. And it was like a Wednesday night at midnight. And then we knew you were doing this. We talked about it on the air. And then you had to be up the next morning. So you slept before, got up for your meditation. Was it cloudy? Did the moon actually come out?
Like, I'm not going to tell you because I don't really remember. But at that point, it was early pandemic. I was sober. I was sick. Anything that kept me going, even if it was the moon.
Yeah.
I needed it. Okay. I needed to believe in something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope it, I mean, obviously it did. It worked. Last question here. And this is something I swear, if you're an East Coaster and you're listening to this, we're going to be able to do this like every episode. And I'm going to call this mini segment within the interview, Does Jax Know?
Okay, you can't just keep up making up names
I
and
am
segments.
doing it right now.
Why don't I get to see this part?
Because this is funny because if you're from the East Coast, like there is this joke about Canada, right? Like, oh, have you met Bob? Like, we're not that small.
Yeah.
But the East Coast is.
That's not true.
But it's cozy. So we're going to know, I want to know if Jax knows Brad. I have an interview, and this is the DM he sent me. I have a quick question for Jax for the next interview segment. My name is Scott. I'm from Sackville, Nova Scotia, and my cousin is Brad Legier. I believe Jax went to NSCC for radio at the same time my cousin Brad did, or they might have worked together at radio stations, I think 2010 or 2011. Does Jax remember Brad? And if so, does she have any funny stories?
Brad Legier, I like know his tattoos. I know his like eyes.
See what I mean?
Like I know. Who is that from?
It's from Scott's Toy Room.
Okay, so Sackville. Yeah, I went to school with Brad Legier. He was a year ahead of me. And then he worked at Live 105. And Brad...
Which is an alternative rock station. Cool girl.
And I remember when I met Brad, because I started going to Nova Scotia Community College in 2008, like 2009. And I remember like meeting him. And he liked the Deftones. And I love the Deftones. And I don't know, he was just so kind. And what I'm trying to tell you is that I thought he was hot.
Oh, you thought he was hot?
Yeah. But
were you out?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, you were out at that point?
I was in and out, no.
You were out and about.
I was out and about, yeah.
I
was out and about, but like I am, I identify as queer, but I can still identify a good man.
Well, you did earlier.
He was, I know, keep him guessing. But no, he's a sweetheart and I haven't talked to him. I think we still follow each other and stuff like that. He's an absolute doll.
Wow.
And this is really not playing my favorite because yes, I know Brad from Sackville.
Love this. If you're a Nova Scotian and you believe Jax might know someone, please drop us a DM.
Somebody wrote on our TikTok not long ago, they were like, did you used to work at Sobeys on Main Street? And I said, yes, I did. I did. And I said, small world.
That is so funny.
Tacoma Sobeys.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it. Okay. So we're 1 for 1 on Does Jax Know?
Oh my God, that's so much. Okay, you know what?
Tune in next week for the follow-up.
It is not called The Interview, though.
No, okay. Well, we'll workshop the interview name. But anyway.
Please give us a better name.
Thank you all for listening. We've had so much fun today. And obviously, every week, Wednesdays, you're going to expect a brand new episode of Adam, Wylde, and Jax. And it'll be up early. So if you're like driving in for your commute, you'll be able to listen.
And make sure to follow Adam's hockey journey this week on his socials because he is going on a hockey road trip. And I bet that all the teams are going to win.
SDPN Sports, check it out.
Yeah.